Revolutionary greetings, comrades. The Citizens Coalition for Change, CCC, led by Advocate Nelson Chamisa, is a victim of the Zimbabwean state intelligence. We are saying this based on what is now dominating the local media in Zimbabwe, that the CCC has double candidates in a number of constituencies across the country. To verify whether indeed CCC has fielded double candidates, one needs to go back to their press conference about 10 days ago or so, when they announced the people that were nominated to stand as their MP candidates. In a press conference held in Harare, they announced the 3 nominees in a number of constituencies. Of course, there were a few where there were 2 nominees, and I think there was only 1 nominee for a constituency, that is Mkoba, I think for Comrade Chibai. But the rest of the constituencies, they were announcing 3 nominees per constituency. It is from the 3 names that were publicly announced that were told that they were going to select one candidate who was then going to file their papers in the nomination court. By now you will know that that list was released very late in the day, on nomination day, on the 23rd of June 2023. CCC has accused the intelligence in Zimbabwe of forging signatures, their logo, to file papers for some of the people that now appear as CCC representatives or CCC candidates. I had to go back to the press conference because, you know, as communists, when we engage in these public spaces, we need to be very sure of what we are engaging on, because we cannot be like the wind, if you like, just follow the wind. When a journalist writes and says, the headline says, CCC rocked by double candidates. As communists, we don't have to then run with the story without verification. Because when it then gets pointed to us that no, the journalist wrote a wrong article, or the journalist is simple writing falsehoods, we will then be criticized as communists. So we try our level best as communists, before we communicate anything, to do a proper research so that what we communicate is factual. So I've checked in the 19 constituencies across the country. Took my time to listen again to the press conference to try and understand if the names of those that CCC says they are not their members, or they are submitted, or they committed fraud, whether CCC is telling the truth or not. So I've already started by that. CCC is a victim of a sting intelligence operation. So I looked into constituencies in Harare as per the announcement. Or let me say the 19 constituencies that I've looked into. Of the 15 people that are said to be standing under the banner of CCC, their names were not read out in the press conference that I'm referring to. Those names were not read out, but then they appear in the candidate list as CCC, but they were not part of the 3 or 2 people that were nominated per constituency. It is only in 4 constituencies that there are names that were announced in that press conference that are now listed as candidates for CCC. If you look into Harare province, there are about 14 or so constituencies there that have double candidates. So if you look into Sunningdale, for example, Christy Mas Gare Musandu, if you check the list of CCC, he was not announced in that press conference. In Mount Pleasant, Jonathan Machokoto was not announced. But in St. Mary's, Fred Michael Masari Reba Revu was announced. And in Warren Park, Energy Mutiga was announced. Then in Harare South, Georgie Mangwete was not announced. Harsha Trapp was not announced. In Hatfield, Adam Griza was not announced. Then in Wunyani, Terence Kumalo was announced. In Epworth South, Solomon Baromo Zimbe and Ditmasi Bande, they were not announced. In Harare Central, Ivan Hatie Nyaningwe was not announced as a candidate. In Harare East, Malvin Razabu was not announced. In Harare West, Farai Michael Panzaronda Ndora was not announced. In Chitungwiza North, Enoch Chitoro was not announced as a candidate. In Chitungwiza South, Shepard Karira Mombe was not announced as a candidate. In Churu, Tichawona Nikazino was not announced as a candidate. So only 3 were announced as candidates. When I'm saying as nominees, they were announced as nominees in the press conference where in each constituency the citizens, candidates, independent selection panel made public at least 3 names that were nominated from their constituencies. So the rest were not announced. Then we get to Bulawayo. There are 3 constituencies that I looked into. In Pelandaba Chabalala, the name Soneni Moyo was not announced. In Entumban and Jube, the name Dinglizo Chuma was not announced. In Pumula, the name Albert Mhlanga was not announced. So if you go back, you can go back on that press conference. You can go to YouTube and just Google. Take your time to watch that announcement by the Citizens Candidates Independent Selection Panel. Those names were not announced, unless if I missed something, but I tried to pay attention. They were not announced. Then you go to Mashonaland East. It is only 1 constituency, Marondera Central. The name Mishek Manier was announced as one of the nominated candidates. But then the CCC did not announce him as their candidate. But then he went on to submit papers. Then in Kariba, that is Mashonaland West, Andrew Mutsau was not announced as a nominee in that press conference. So what this basically means is that the intelligence in Zimbabwe then picked people in the streets or their operatives. Either picked people in the streets or their operatives or the members of ZANU-PF. They gave them forms to complete under CCC, gave them money to go and file in the nomination court. Then they were pronounced as CCC candidates. So in conclusion, CCC is a victim of state intelligence in Zimbabwe. because I've noted that the issue of double candidates is topical in social media, that Triple C filtered double candidates and their selection process, or the result, the double candidates is as a result of their selection process. This is not supported by any facts, as I've indicated. So you will have, out of 210 constituencies, only 4 people, or out of 210 constituencies, only in 4 constituencies, you will then have people that were announced as nominees that then went to submit their names as members of Triple C, or to stand under the ban of Triple C. I've not looked into the independent candidates. That's a separate thing. So if a person is a member of Triple C, then they are not announced as a candidate, then they go and contest as independents. I've not looked at that, because at the moment I do not have a formula to say this person who's an independent is a member of Triple C. I'm not very sure how the membership of Triple C is defined, whether they have a constitution that it defines their members, whether they have membership cards. I have no access to the database of Triple C to say, yes, this person is a member in good standing of Triple C, but is now standing as an independent. I do not have. So I do not even know whether Triple C do have membership. But in the case of those that are saying they are standing under the banner of Triple C, and I must admit that Triple C is a victim of intelligence in Zimbabwe that wants to destabilize it, cause confusion, so that Triple C will come across as a movement that cannot resolve its internal problems, which result in double candidates. You have debating this yourself in a number of social media platforms. What have you picked as the campaigning is now on full swing, as we march to 23rd of August 2023? Please share your views, write in the comment section, like this video, circulate, subscribe to this YouTube channel. If you're on TikTok, please follow us. Otherwise, have a great day.